to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you for downloading and checking us out this week. Back to Urban Shadows, Haze of Shadows. Scary times are coming. And we also have this game.
That too.
Yay!
You did it. You
Escapism.
just said no, and then you did it.
Yay, escapism.
Hooray.
So, what happened last time?
On Critical Hit.
On Critical Hit!
Oh,
And we're getting really good
there
at that.
was
Are we?
an alley burnt down.
You know, those mysterious alley burnings that happen in Haze all the time.
Well,
And
apparently
none of the
You know what?
buildings are affected, unlike the real Haze, where
Yeah,
it's
do
just
we
the opposite.
realize? Yeah, do we all realize that an alley is a space between buildings? Aren't we talking about 2 to 4 buildings burning down?
Well, you know, in the
Possibly.
real world, that would be what
I-
happens, and the alley isn't even touched. But in this world, it's backwards. It's all upside down.
To be
Yes.
fair, I didn't realize it was an alley that got burnt until Brian mentioned it on the drive over here.
Oh no, I just was shaking my head, going, "Okay, so he lit a garbage fire and then he ran."
pretty much. I mean,
It worked. You could mock me, but it worked.
I mean, for certain versions
I
of
allowed
work,
it.
what was your goal?
Exactly.
To not
This is
get
the thing,
killed.
though. Sometimes you're just looking for a metaphor, and you light a dumpster on fire, and then you see, and you're fine.
That your life
I'm
is a
an-
dumpster fire?
Exactly. Ian is a shut up.
Oh, boy.
He's a dead college-age narcissist, nihilist, otherist. Whatever. I like cheese.
There's like
Let's play
really
the
is
game.
a dumpster fire?
Kind of.
It's been burning since 1972.
Your sister was a wizard, and your father smelt of elderberries.
So, yes, that did happen.
On critical. Yeah.
Also, while a certain vamp was doing some digging into some recent events, he found out some kind of bad news about Elvish client of his.
Elvis is a client? Oh, sorry, I misheard.
And
I know.
went,
Some bad news about a client of mine?
more or less.
Ethan?
Yes.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't care about Ethan. No, Ethan got kidnapped by some rival vampire trying to rein in on my business.
Yep.
So I'm using this information as a way to get a wizard to help me.
Yes.
And I'm using my information as a way to get a vampire to help me.
And don't forget the crazy blood cult.
Yep. There's
Yes.
that.
There's that.
I'm
Oh, and the
using
Goblin
it
Market's
simple-
coming in a few days.
Yes.
Yay!
We're
just
all
a-
so excited.
Mm-hmm.
And something
If we're not all
undead is
dead
coming
before-
this way. It'll be fine. You know,
Yes.
some of us are dead already, and we're just fine.
You're undead.
You can say that, but I mean, it's like being a little bit pregnant. You either you is or you isn't, and I is.
We'll re-dead you.
Oh, well, you might have to re-undead him.
Can we
So-
re-undead, not undead him?
Can you unre?
I'm not sure there. You lost me.
Okay.
What is this regarding?
Matthew's current status as a person.
So if I'm
Alright.
dead, and then they dead me again, Stephen wants to know if I can be re-undeaded, and the answer is yes.
Mhm.
But what if you're
certain
undead?
qualifications are met.
But what if you're
Uh-huh.
undead?
Mhm.
Can you be re-killed?
Yes.
And,
And God
then he is
can, in fact,
re-undeaded.
make a rock so big that he himself can't lift it. It's a paradox. Live with it.
Mm.
Yes. He
Speaking
can
of the
be-
Golden Ox, it was torn down years ago and is now a different
What?
kind of truck stop.
Mm.
Oh, now I'm
And a
sad.
subway.
And a subway, yes.
I miss the Golden Ox.
The better subway
I used to
in
spend
town
many nights right next to the Golden
Yeah.
Ox in a better restaurant.
of the 3.
All right, Brian, where are we at then?
Well, I think when we last left off, we had a couple of people gearing up to start some business.
Yep. Speaking of starting, we're starting a new session, correct?
We are doing that, yes.
I would like to use my web ability. At the start of a session, I'm going to choose someone in my web and learn a secret about them they'd rather keep buried. So, Professor, you're in my web. I would like to learn a secret about you that you would rather keep buried.
I don't have any secrets.
Well, you get to make one up.
Yeah.
Let's see. The professor may not always give his clients everything they ask for.
So he's a scammer.
I wouldn't say scam. More like you wanted X, I gave you X, but I didn't give you X plus Y. I didn't give you any extra. I did the bare minimum, just like all my students. The bare minimum work required, and they expect an A. Or in my case, tens of thousands of dollars.
I thought giving people X was more Klaus's deal.
Yeah. Well
That
played.
is true.
So the professor's a little shady in his dealings.
Oh, yes.
Got it. All right. Well, that's all I have right now.
Okay. So, yes. So it is pretty much agreed that you and Alana were gearing up to.
Yep, she was locating the address. I was gathering the troops, as it were.
Okay. Well, you as a vamp guy, even though we've pretty much established story-wise that you are something of a head honcho of the local group contingents here, mechanically speaking, you don't actually have the advances what gives you a regular crew to rumble around in.
Damn it.
That being said, I will let you leverage some if you'd like, but at the cost of it's going to take some debts.
All right. So I'm going to have debts to my crew.
Yeah. Predominantly through Sharon. And yeah, basically she's... Because again, she'll pretty much have to be the one to organize the ones that
All right.
will be joining you.
However many she needs.
We'll just go with one for now.
All right.
But it's a big one.
So, how many guys you need in here?
I'm not certain. We're looking to take on Delgado.
Okay. How big a crew do they have?
Don't have that information yet. They do have a cult that's messing with our blood, with vampiric blood. Do you remember them? I think they called themselves the Court of Blood.
Those jokers we sent packing?
Yeah, apparently they were onto something.
Oh boy. So, like, how soon are you needing them?
The wizard's working on her location. Once we have that, we're gonna move out.
So you mean like now?
Yeah, not immediately. She said the spell was gonna take some. Was I given a time frame?
I don't think there specifically was, but yeah, we'll say that it take her an hour or so to.
Yeah, it's gonna take a couple hours to get a location. At which point we want to move as fast as we can to catch them off guard. I've also got a couple of other favors calling in.
Okay. Do you have anything in the way of armaments or what?
I've got a weapon of my own.
I don't know that too many of our boys are packing here.
Right.
I mean, we can probably make do with some bats and other blunt objects.
Yeah, go with that for now, and I will work on obtaining other accoutrements.
Okay, should we pull some guys away from why watching that Raven girl?
Yeah, just leave her with the one. I think she's involved with this.
I think I could find about 5 or so guys that would probably be willing to rumble.
All right. Whatever we can get.
All right. Guess I'll try to hold the fort down here. Have fun with your West Side Story.
This wasn't my play.
All right, where are you at?
I am heading to my place.
All right, I'll have him come by there.
All right.
When you're a vamp, you're a vamp.
What's the name of your mob there? The Klausingtons?
No, because that would track it back to me.
Oh.
The bats.
Up close and personal.
Kraut and the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh my God.
The Polka Shuffles.
The beer rocks.
Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest, yeah.
Oktoberfest.
Yes, that's what I said. Did I not say it clearly
Sounded
enough?
like Oktoberfest.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oktoberfest.
There you go.
I'm from the Midwest. Sometimes my E's and my I's blend into one another.
It also doesn't help that all of us were
Oktoberfest.
expecting Oktoberfest from
Oh,
hearing
that's
it
true.
multiple times.
Yeah. People never know if I want new tires for the car or just to write a letter.
All right, so
The Kielbasa crew.
Oh, the Kill Bassa crew. Or no, just Kill Bassa.
There's some guy sitting in a basement somewhere in Hayes named Basa is just like worried that people are going to come and get him at any minute.
One of your guys has nunchucks with a bratwurst on each end.
Oh my God, there's no name to the crew. I never bothered to name them.
You've had
Well,
over
now
100
you've got
years.
lots of options.
You've had 100 years
you
and
go.
you haven't come up with a crew name.
he didn't have
All
a crew
alone
for
in
100
dark.
years.
Darkness. Ooh, you know what you should just call them? Munger. Everyone in Munger is a vampire. It's a psychological fact. Same is true of Stull.
A psychological fact?
Mm-hmm.
Stole I could believe.
They think therefore they are.
I've never seen a live person in Munger, never seen a live person in Stull, unless it's after dark.
I was gonna,
And at that point, people.
apparently go hang out in
Munch
that
color.
graveyard and you'll see someone.
It's true.
Locals get all uppity about people tromping around their hellhole.
It's a hell mouth, first of all.
Yeah.
The hell hole.
People
is
are
if
wondering
your
what
mouth
the hell
is
we're talking about. Major Spoilers Podcast. Look for any of our Halloween episodes. We usually talk about Stull there. Anyway, back to the story.
Hit me up on the Twitter and I'll lie about it all day long.
So yes, you basically put forth that call. Anywhere.
All right, I'm serious too.
Any other preparations?
Let's see. The proxy said he did deal in illegals. I'm going to grab up all the spare cash I have and head to one of the pawn shops in town
Okay.
because they have guns.
I suppose they do. So, yep, you jangle the door on open and see your gentleman behind the cabinet there. All the guns behind him.
Sir,
Yes.
I am looking for a shotgun.
Shotgun?
Yeah. Got a friend from out of town interested in coming down for
Pheasant season.
I'm gonna go with goose season. Need something big.
Pheasant season.
Duck season.
You stay out of this. He doesn't have to shoot you now.
See, Brian knows when I'm desperate to make a reference and makes it for me.
For goose season, need something that'll help with won't be too difficult for someone who's unpracticed to use, but geese are reasonably sized birds, so.
Well, shotgun's the good call. Kind of starts eyeballing you. Go ahead and give me a hit the streets
Hit the streets
with mortality.
Okay, I can do that.
See if he's gonna let you get away with getting a
Blam.
gun now. Woo.
Suddenly
you I
they
could
both
do that.
remember they're in Kansas.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, I got this one right here.
Marking off mortality.
You want a double barrel or pump action?
Give me a pump action.
All
He's
right.
probably gonna miss.
I suppose so. All right, you be careful with newbie there. Make sure he's knows where he's pointing that thing.
Absolutely.
So yep, you're able to get a shotgun without any real hassle, or
And literally, that's how you buy a shotgun in Kansas. And it takes exactly that long.
There's a waiting
Unrelated,
period.
unrelated shopkeep. Give me 40 slugs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to basically one of the other places that has firearms to pick up
ammo.
slugs and shells.
Hmm.
And then I'm going to go to another pawn shop and do the same thing.
Okay, I'll go ahead and wrap it all up in that roll, and yeah, you're able to get some amount of armaments here.
All right.
Make your way back.
Yep, make my way back home.
All right. Yeah, you make your way back. There's a minivan there with 5 of your crew there.
All right. How many guns was I able to procure?
How many were you looking for?
3, if at all possible.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
All right. Which of the 3 of you is most versed in firearms?
You
Which
get
of the 5 of you, excuse me.
you get a couple hands.
All right. Here's one for you and one for you. You 3?
They hold up some club-like objects.
All right. I guess I'll keep this one for myself. We are waiting now. So we don't know where we're going until she finishes.
Speaking of which, so Alana, what exactly are you doing to get a bead on Ethan?
So one of my spells allows me to take a piece of let me see how it works exactly. So I have the tracking spell, so I can spend a hold, which means I'll have to channel first to learn the location of someone, and I need to have a personal object that belonged to the target or recent leavings of their body, both of which I figure I could have pretty easily since he's been crashing here.
Yeah. Not hard to come up with something there.
Yep.
All
Just
right.
grab his comb. So I'll make a channeling roll.
Yeah. What do you do to channel your energies?
So she probably goes up to her sanctum area, and takes the comb, sets it down, and kind of sits down in meditation and invokes the name of a angel associated with finding the lost, and basically summons it to guide her towards her target.
All right. Ooh.
That's lame.
That was a miss.
Yep.
So on
Do I get any advantage for being in like my sanctum?
let's see. When you go to your sanctum for a spell, ingredient, relic, or tome, roll with spirit. On 10 plus, you pretty much got the thing. 7 through 9, you got something close, but it's flawed or lacking in some significant way.
Okay, so it's like a separate roll for like looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate.
So yeah, you just got one hold, and you are basically unable to channel for the foreseeable future here.
Okay. Well, I actually, because of my focus, will gain.
Yes.
Anytime I use channeling, I get a second hold. So.
Okay. Yes, that's true. That's good. So you do got 2 hold.
Cool. So I will spend one of them immediately to use my spell.
All right. And so you do basically see the apparition of some being covered with wings and eyes who basically points you south.
Okay. I will call Klaus.
Yes.
Ritual's over. It's south of my shop.
Just
Bring your crew.
south.
Yes, I'm going to have to guide us. Why don't you bring your crew to me?
All right. Be there shortly.
And then I will call Ian.
Ian, you got a phone call.
I have a phone?
Apparently.
It's 2017. Everybody has a phone.
I'm pretty sure your sister would have supplied you a phone at some point.
Yeah.
The batteries are dead.
Make them undead
answer.
batteries.
Yeah, I would have almost assuredly gotten you a burner phone to not have to explain, get undead you a phone
That's
plan.
how I lit up the alley, was with my burner phone. Fine. I have a flip phone or something, and I answer it.
Ian,
Yes?
I was hoping you could use your talents to help me with something.
Does it involve violence?
That's exactly what it involves.
Well, I suppose there's no other questions to ask, are there?
Well, Ian, you did have some previous arrangements.
Do I? Oh, I do.
Hot date with the blue light lady.
I think he might have been contracted to work for the opposite side of this arrangement. Which is my theory.
When and where?
Come to my place as soon as possible.
Click.
Yeah,
I'm bad at saying goodbye.
Nice.
I get it. And then I will call Leandra, actually.
Okay. Hello?
Hi, I think I've got a location on Ethan for you.
Oh. Okay, where?
That's a bit complicated.
Complicated how?
Oh, I don't actually know where he is, but I'm going to him now.
Oh, okay. Is there anything I can do?
I mean, it depends. Do you have any particular talents at fighting vampires?
No?
All right, well then sit tight. I'll be in touch.
Okay. I'll wait to hear from you.
Okay.
On the way over, I'm going to contact the proxy.
We are listening.
So, I've been given a general location.
Mm-hmm.
We're having to follow a wizard to it. Are you
Which
able-
wizard?
The new one in town?
Luria?
Yeah, that's the one.
What were you going to ask us?
You were offering help, offering services once we had a location.
Right.
I need the services before we have the location, because I'm reasonably certain action is going to go down as soon as we have said location.
Right. So, were you still hoping for manpower or...
Manpower.
I see. Do you know if Ian Luria will be involved?
Who's that?
That's Alana's brother.
That must be the muscle she said she knew.
Yes, unfortunately, that is also the muscle we said we knew. But that is all right. We are in the process of a transaction, so we will come ourselves.
All right. Do you know the location?
Are you meeting her at her place?
Her place, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We will be there soon.
We will see you there. Click.
So, here's a question. Does any of you actually explicitly have any sort of transport provided in your gear?
A comfortable car.
A comfortable car. Okay, what kind of car does Klaus drive?
A comfortable one.
Make, model?
The 77 Dodge Magnum.
No.
Those are comfortable as hell, I'll tell you.
I'll give you that. No, mid-70s. Not mid-70s. Damn it, Matthew. Mid to late aughts. Ford is like just a 4-door coupe. Nothing fancy. Something not.
A 4-door coupe.
I don't know
Yeah.
car things.
Yep, you know how those four-door coupes
Yeah,
are.
the 4-door
Matthew.
coupes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
If you count a hatchback and the
Sometimes they count that as a 5-door.
and the sunroof.
And the glove compartment. Yeah.
Yep.
The hood is kind of a door.
You want a 4-door sedan, Rob?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know car things.
I have a crappy car.
Do
It
you-
And
says
I have a
so.
provided minivan.
Yes,
You
that's
do.
true. We have a crew rolling in a minivan.
Rolling in the minivan.
So,
Is that something that I would have had to add to the character sheet, or would it be something that is provided to me as
It would
a
be under
revenant?
gear.
yeah, it'd have been.
Yeah, on
listed.
your playbook, it's under gear.
My gear has a secluded apartment, a comfortable
Mhm.
car, and a smartphone, and one stylish weapon,
Mm,
which I chose sword,
I see.
though it's not a sword. If I have to
I
use
have-
it, you'll know what it is.
I have my choice of weapon, and I have chosen a snub-nosed revolver.
Mm, nice.
One practical weapon.
All right.
I have a house or apartment, a car, or a smartphone is my gear. Oh,
Ooh,
and
a
one weapon of my
smartphone.
choice as
I
well.
just have a decent cell phone. You're very fancy.
Yeah. Well, so we'll say the proxy drives in a current year Charger.
Okay.
Oh, those are nice.
Yes.
It's
those.
it's sporty enough, but also it's large enough that it's not like a little tiny Lamborghini type thing. It's a cool car that also is functional.
Hmm. I do not have a car.
Yeah.
I do, however, have an enormous gun. And a
I
flute.
have a 80s Lincoln Town car where the canvas roof is forever hanging down and needing to be stapled back up.
I had one of those once.
Yeah, my best friend from high school had one of those.
Everybody
great.
had one of those once.
Yeah, that's really true. And it was always the passenger seats person to job to hold the roof up so that you could see out the back.
All right. And so I assume nearly within close timing of each other, the proxy, Klaus, and Klaus's group of individuals roll up.
Mm-hmm.
Does Alana come out, or do they come into the store?
I'll come out. I'll be waiting outside.
Okay.
Me and my little spirit friend. I don't know if they can see it.
Nah, well, maybe if they open their senses, but for the most part, it's just a visual apparition of you, or for you, for your purposes. We haven't had descriptions in a while. Alana, Sam, what does Alana look like?
Alana is fair-skinned, has short brown hair. She's wearing currently like a trench coat that anyone who's fairly savvy might think she's packing something under. She has a most distinctive piece of ornamentation is a pennant that has a kind of almost looks like a family tree, but it goes out in a lot of different directions, and the lettering is all in Hebrew. She's wearing sturdy boots and comfortable looking jeans.
Nice. So, does Klaus get out of the car? Or
Yeah, Klaus took it out of the car.
how does Klaus look?
Klaus is... I don't even remember what I said his height was back when. Whatever
Klaus
height
is
I said it
vampire
back-
height.
Yes, Klaus is the height of an average vampire. Klaus is blonde-haired, blue-eyed. I completely forgot how I described him the first time. I should have written things down.
It happens.
We'll go with that. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, pale skin, little paler than the average Hazian.
Human.
Yeah.
Come on.
Dark hoodie over t-shirt and jeans.
And also joined by the proxy.
The proxy wears an expensive suit. It's like a black 3-piece suit. But the shirt has a splash of color, probably like a light blue, black tie, stylish sunglasses, expensive haircut, dark skin, kind of ethnicity is somewhat ambiguous, and is very serious looking.
All right. And I assume, a little while later, since he's mostly doing this by foot, but Ian wanders up.
Ian probably would, just sort of
Or
either wander up or see if he could come over the top of something tall.
leap down from nearby.
Leap down from a rooftop. Ian's entire aesthetic can be described in the words of David St. Hubbins as none more black. He looks like at one point he was wearing some sort of trendy gothy clothes, but now they're torn and repaired under an awesome, large, flappy black cloak. The skin that you can see is pale, probably comparable to Alana, and he very much, could be seen to have a familial resemblance. Very wiry, very Ashkenazi. Possibly carrying an enormous gun, huge goth Robert Smith hair, and in fact is wearing white face makeup with black markings and a red tear down one cheek, which may or may not actually be blood. We can't be for certain.
It's not blood.
I was
I
hoping.
said we, I didn't say you. It could actually be bleeding from his eyeballs, but it's not because that's gross.
So when the proxy shows up, Alana will be like, "What are you doing here?"
We are in the middle of a business transaction.
Just, look at Claus.
What? He has power. We need power.
That he does. All right. As long as you're paying for this.
Yep.
I feel like I'm interrupting something personal here. Should I go?
No, let's all go. Ian, you can ride with me. You guys can follow.
Lead on.
Cool. She gets into her crappy car and tears away.
I'll bang on the side of the van, follow that, and get into my vehicle.
Would anyone be able to see the giant cat that actually leaps on the top of the car and clings to it as she drives away?
Again, probably only if they were opening their third eyes or whatever.
Yep.
Or fourth eye for this one.
Expanding
It's
there.
really big. You're going to need another extra eye.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
have
need to. Yeah, you need to not find a mystic and find yourself a nerd. They're the only
Right.
ones who can see it.
Exactly. Actually, any geek could.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
I
serious.
slapped the books out of Matthew's hand.
Wait, we're role playing college? What? All right.
So yeah, I get in my car as well and follow them.
Basically, you start heading south. You very quickly make it to the edge of town. Basically, winding your way down to
Actually,
Vine.
I'm sorry, Brian.
Mhm.
Would it be okay if I actually rode in the van?
If you wanted to.
Sure. I'll just
Let's-
get in like I own the van.
you go.
Nice. You will soon.
Yep.
The guys kind of just shrug, but don't say anything.
Yeah. Do these all look like vampires?
Yeah,
Okay. That's good.
Big vampires.
for the most part, yes. The ones that
I'll
feel they're tough or have something to prove.
yeah, that's great. I'll get names and numbers. People who think they have something to prove are my bread and butter.
So yeah, you start making your way on 183. It leads you out of town. Still heading south.
I'll brief Ian while I drive, say, Ethan's been kidnapped by drug dealing vampires. They actually, I think, got him to get at Klaus, not me. But, so Klaus came to me and let me know about the situation. So feel free to unleash violence on any of the vampires that aren't riding with us.
Oh, I would, absolutely. How did what you die for a year and things go insane.
How do you mean?
I'm not entirely sure.
Well, you're just more in my world now.
I hadn't realized it was this complex.
Yeah, well, that's it's my job, not yours.
I suppose.
I'm still sorry you got pulled into it in your own weird way. It's not how this was supposed to go.
Don't be sorry. Any opportunity to unleash swift and blinding violence. If nothing else, it kills the time.
Yeah, I wasn't apologizing for bringing you in on this operation. I was apologizing for the fact that you're now actually really into violence as opposed to just the cure.
We all have to grow up sometime.
Yeah, you were supposed to grow up, not die.
Ian stares off into the distance enigmatically. Totally enigmatically. And the fact that I'm calling it out does not undermine the enigma at all. In context, it's seriously enigmatic.
So you continue to make your way south. You slow down through a small town called Liebenthal and are still led further south.
Stop for the beef jerky.
Yes, but no, it's shut down for the evening. It's getting dark.
Boo.
Stop to steal the beef jerky.
After about 20 minutes of driving, you start coming to La Crosse, when basically the signal kind of gets stronger as you roll up towards the edge of town. You're basically pointed towards a motel on the north side, just across the street from a quick shop called the Green Acre Motel.
All right, I'll park.
Where in the motel's parking lot?
No, in the quick shops parking lot,
Okay.
preferably out of sight of the motel.
Okay, so you pull into the gas station's parking lot. Assume the followed in by several other vehicles.
Yep.
So you
This
got
seems like such a bad idea.
Do I think
Whatever,
the action's in the motel?
Mm.
that seems to be the indication.
Also, I just feel bad for Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is nighttime. Our good friend Mr. Higginsbottom III is asleep.
For once.
hmm
Yes. Well, he usually goes to sleep at night,
Yes.
unlike other people, because unlike some of these other people, Professor J.D. Higginsbottom has classes to teach in the morning.
He wants
of
to make
course,
sure
he's
he
only-
gets his beauty sleep so he's ready for the goblin market this weekend.
Yeah, we're all
The Goblin
full-time
Market is
weirdos.
That's what he's sleeping. He's dreaming about the Goblin Market and all the treasures that he's going to buy and pick up. Oh, he cannot wait for the Goblin Market this weekend.
I just really hope that in the tense montage of us traveling south, it like
It's like,
cuts to Alana, cuts to the proxy, cuts to Klaus, cuts to like Professor Higginsbottom like making himself some tea.
yeah, he's got his big
Lying
red.
down
He's got his big red robe on, shuffling
What?
in his
Watching
little
some
rabbit
TV.
read a
rabbit
chapter.
slippers, going down the
Easy,
hallway.
easy listening music on a turntable.
He's got the guide to demons and demonology under his arm.
Reading the Blood Codex, chapter 55. He wants to get through it by the weekend because it's really exciting.
Goblin Market.
Goblin, woblin, do buddy, do.
Oh, hey, I'm having fun listening to this. I want to see what happens
So,
because these places that Brian is describing actually exist.
yeah. Yes. So
We're gonna shoot them up.
you got
I would remember them, but I blinked.
3 vehicles pulled into this gas station's parking lot along the front of the gas station here.
Alana will get out. So, the motel.
She's not going to be there.
Well, then we get what we came here for, and you can do what you need to do with her henchmen.
All right.
What is your general hope here, Klaus?
At this point, intimidation.
I see.
Probably also get my person back. But she needs to know that I'm not going to let Hayes go.
And who is she?
A rival vampire.
Cross stare at Ian.
Ian stares back.
Anything else we need to know about her? Capabilities, likely armaments, powers.
Armed, she might have some more of what the what got your boyfriend and my guy in there, made them strong.
Great.
That's what these guys are for.
She'll nod.
Yes, we'll have to have you lead the way to figure out the room.
Yep. She'll take a moment, hold on to her focus, and basically just again, like, can I have 2 spells up at a time? If I've still got the tracking one, can I cast another spell?
I believe you can spin the hold.
Okay, that's what I thought, but just make sure. So she'll like basically have one hand like as to her was not that it's visible to anyone else. Is basically like holding on to the guiding spirit, and then say some words in Hebrew that I'm guessing no one except for Ian understands, and then Ian probably doesn't understand either. And we'll invoke a spirit of shielding. And I will shield myself for the fight to come.
All right. So you give yourself +1 armor.
Yep.
It does last to the end of the scene. You can stack multiple uses of shielding at once. That's kind of gross.
Yep, but unfortunately I wrecked my channeling roll. Otherwise I'd like be giving shielding to everyone.
Yes. So. All right.
All right. Then she'll just pull out her gun and say, "Let's go."
So they'll just
I'm still staring at Klaus.
Does there seem to be like a lookout or anything like that?
No, not that you can tell. There doesn't really seem to be anyone lingering in the parking lot or in front of the rooms or anything.
Is this like a kind of like a U-shaped type?
L-shape.
L-shape, yes.
L-shaped. Okay. So you can access any room from the parking lot, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick question about harm.
Mm-hmm.
When does it fall off? At what rate?
Your arms?
Harm.
Oh, harm. Okay.
That depends on how much harm you have.
I had 1.
Well,
takes a day, right?
Yeah, we'll say that cleared up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was just a faint harm, so after about a day or two, well it's cleared up by now. You didn't.
Cool.
It was a back cramp. You're fine.
It was a solid punch, but you got over it.
Follow. Actually, indicate to the troops to follow Alana.
If something says roll when you enter combat
Mm-hmm.
or when you go into a battle, would that be something that we do now, or do we do that if a battle actually erupts?
I think this would be an effectively entering battle.
Ah, good. I have a thing.
All right.
When I enter battle, I must roll with the blood. Blah. How do I roll with blood? Where's the blood button? It's over here where it says blood.
Blood.
Blood. That's you talking. I don't talk like that. I succeed partially. Okay, on an 8, I am holding 2. So during the fight, I can use some of those 2 that I am holding for various and sundry effects.
Yes.
Under the vigilante move, which is a special thing that I have because I am a reverend.
I think it's revenant, not
yes.
reverend.
That's a different playbook. You are not a hollow.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yep, you this sizable group walks across the street to the hotel. Alana's able to slowly pinpoint one of the rooms that strongly suggests that Ian's in there, and there does seem to be quite a few voices. Not Ian. Oh, yes, sorry, not Ian. Ethan.
Ethan.
Yes.
That's not at all confusing, but it's cool.
Yep. Yeah, you're able to pinpoint without much difficulty the room that Ethan is in, and there seem to be quite a few voices coming from there.
Cool.
First floor or second floor?
There's only the one floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 20. There's like maximum 20 rooms.
Yeah. But free Wi-Fi.
Once she's pinpointed it, she will step back, like gesture to the room, and wait for the vampiric meat shields to take the lead.
Oh no.
Or Ian might just bust through the door.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way that anybody's gonna get to do anything before somebody crashes through the window.
Ian's definitely busting through the door.
If I've read Ian correctly so far. Like I hope
You've
that
had
on the
10
way
years.
there,
You've had 10 years of this game, Rodrigo. So
I hope that on the way there,
Hey.
like Alana didn't like look over at a vending machine and say, "Oh, I haven't had a like a ding dong for a while," and then like he's just like, "There he is!" Bam, just blows it up.
The vending machine dies.
It's like, "Oh, they have RC Cola here!" Kaboom!
Why do I even
Actually-
try?
That would happen because RC Cola is terrible and needs to be shot. But
It's on
first
it's on your
and foremost,
cow. RC Cola's
Yes.
on your cow.
exactly, it's RC Cola and Devil Dogs because they're insufficient to ding dongs. And also, it is important to know that I could not go through a window because this is critical hit, and that will call back a different character, and I don't do callbacks. Shut up. Ian,
No.
however, is going to bust down the door.
Goblin Market has funnel cakes.
Too soon, dude. Too soon.
I kind of want to roll, but I can't think of a good thing
I'm
to
gonna say
determine.
That does sound like a let it out, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it does
that's-
sound like a let it out.
Okay.
That is like
Well, or
that
an
is letting
unleash.
it out all
Either
the-
Yeah,
one.
of the two.
Unleash an attack on someone. Let out the power within you. I'm
Yeah,
leaning
it's
towards
probably
let it out.
just
I
it's
think
probably
yeah, we
just
can
unleash.
just roll this into the general inflicting harm. So, basically, as your opening move, you go to kick down the door. So go ahead and roll me unleash with blood.
Succeeds partially.
All right. So on a partial success, you inflict harm as established and choose one. You can inflict a terrible harm or take something from them. So basically what happens is you kick in the door and go rolling in. You see a group of about 3 guys in here chatting up, and they're very quickly taken by surprise. What are you wanting to do here?
Point of important game-related information.
Mm-hmm.
Does Ian know which one is Alana's boyfriend from before his untimely demise? Is this the same boyfriend that you would have had before Ian joined the Bleeding Choir in Visibule?
Yeah, I mean, you've only been dead for a year, and so it's probably you would know like they've had a on again, off again, always messy relationship.
Okay, so I know which one not to rip the larynx out, just as a
Yes.
Well, you
I'm guessing. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. What you notice is that there, the guy who you do vaguely recognize is kind of catatonic on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a fourth one there who is not very upset about being burst into.
Okay, so Ethan, unconscious.
Yes. And
3 schmucks.
Yep.
Looking all angry. Which schmuck is closest?
There's a guy just who is sitting in a chair right beside the door there.
All right, harm in his face.
Harm in his face. All
Harm
right.
in his face.
How much harm do you do?
How much harm can I do?
Well, what are you doing to inflict harm?
I am wedging my Doc Martin right into his neck.
And pulling the trigger?
It's a beautiful thing. Bust down the door, roll over. Doc Martin is a boot.
Oh, Doc
and-
Martin. Okay.
Kick him in the neck.
All right. So are you going to choose to inflict terrible harm or take something from them?
What's he got that I want?
I don't know. What do you want?
Does he have anything?
They have Ethan.
They have Ethan. They do have
They-
Ethan. Does he have a weapon?
Yeah, you see that they all seem to be holding or well, not necessarily holding, but
Mm-hmm.
packing guns.
Possessed of weapons.
Yes.
So if I choose to inflict harm,
Mhm.
I could theoretically take this particular NPC out of the combat. Yes.
Yes. Effectively.
By that I mean, not necessarily having to kill him,
Ah.
But
yeah, we.
okay. Well, I mean, that's really the thing for me is which is going to make more sense. Am I going to want to immediately try and kill people? I'm going to inflict terrible harm on him,
All right.
on his face.
Fair enough.
Okay. Do I roll that?
So,
Nope. It's
Brian, what does inflicting terrible harm entail?
Mhm.
basically that means that he will be doing one additional harm.
Mhm.
And so I am marking that here.
Okay. So
And-
basically, a violent attack directly into the NPC who is in the chair.
So basically, what I would say is that means is that as you basically kick him in the neck, you topple him over and keep stomping
Ooh.
because it's terrible harm. You're having to do
Right.
some not nice things to
Yeah.
do this extra damage.
I keep
So-
forgetting that I'm a nice guy and my character is kind of an awful creature of evil. Well, not evil, just things.
Vengeance.
A creature of things.
Yeah, since this was a partial success, that also means you have to choose one from they inflict harm on you or you find yourself in a bad spot.
I find myself in a bad spot.
Okay, so basically as you're stomping this guy, one of the other guys just lunge and tackles you. And as they yell out, "We
Mhm.
got company!" And you hear a bit of a ruckus from the adjoining room.
So I'm holding 2. Can I spend a hold at this point, or do I have to wait for?
Well,
Something
what do
to
you
trigger
want to spend a hold for?
I can spend a hold to redirect an attack to another character or nowhere. So I want to redirect his attack at me to the window and see if I can just get him to go right out it.
I say you're not exactly being attacked as of yet.
No.
Well,
I can
But
also
that sounds
spend
like a
hold
great thing
one.
to do when he does attack you.
yes.
Okay.
I'd say just fictionally speaking, or mechanically speaking, yeah, he's not inflicting harm on you as of yet, but
Yeah, this is you being in a bad spot.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I'm in a spot. Okay. I got that. I'm in a spot. I'm cool.
all right. So Klaus, Ian has leaped in there. You hear a commotion. They yell that there's company. You hear a commotion from the next door. What do you do?
I'm gonna ready myself to actually hit the first person that comes out in that door.
All right.
I'm gonna pull my weapon out, which is a tomahawk I actually got from Drake early on in our relationship. And duck down and wait for someone to come out of there.
All right. Ian or Alana, are you taking any particular actions or precautions at this point?
Do you mean Proxy or Alana?
Yes. Sorry, Proxy.
It's a good question.
Rock's ready to go.
Considering what I, have been told about these guys having some kind of blood cult and some kind of weird drugs that possess people, I'm going to attempt to let it out and basically be on the lookout for anything particularly weird that we wouldn't see on the more physical plane.
All right, go ahead and roll that.
I succeed partially.
Succeed partially. All right, so you can choose one and mark corruption. I'm going to basically give you for free that as you extend your senses, other than just the presence of a number of vampires in these 2 rooms, you don't seem to notice anything particularly of danger beyond that. Beyond a group of vampires packing heat.
Right.
So I will go ahead and let you choose another option from the list.
Can I take definite hold of something vulnerable or exposed and have that vulnerable exposed thing be Ethan?
If you want.
All right.
How does that go down?
So I said, like, I see her as like extending her senses, and she's like, vampire, 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 vampire. Oh, Ethan. Like, having a good kind of psychic relationship impression of him, and he's catatonic, and she just gives him like basically a mental emotional jolt to send him to wake him up.
Yeah, he basically snaps to with a loud gasp, and kind of finds just is a little dumbfounded at the chaos erupting around him. Proxy, what are you up to?
I will try to get in, basically using the door hole as cover, and fire a couple shots into some vampires in the main room where Ethan is, to try to take him out and or cover Ian.
All right, go ahead and roll me an unleash.
And my gun is a 9mm Beretta, which is 2 harm, close, and loud.
So you roll a solid hit. So you can choose to inflict terrible harm or take something from them.
When you say take something,
Mm-hmm.
Their soul!
I mean,
It is, it's a something.
can I just get a hook? Can I just get a hook in their souls, and then if they die, I'll just collect them?
Do vampires still have souls?
That's a good question.
That is a
I
good
don't know,
question.
Vampire, what goes on with these souls of these dead peoples?
Yes, the vamp.
I'm gonna go with yes, they do.
Okay.
Which is why Drake was so bent on being a good person.
And how much harm was the gun?
2 harm.
So yeah, you solidly put one down, and basically you're able to suck up its essence as the light diminishes from his eyes.
Perfect.
I'd say around that time, yeah, the adjoining door kind of burst open, and a guy kind of looks out, gun in hand. Ian, do you want to, or no, not Ian, Klaus, do you want to roll me a unleash for your
do that
prepped action? Ooh, partial success. All right. So which options do you wish to take between inflict terrible harm or take something from them?
I'm gonna inflict terrible harm.
All right. How much is your
3?
3 with the terrible harm or without?
Sword is 3 harm, messy.
Dang. Yeah, you basically cleave his head off.
Oh,
and
I'll take that.
body slumps right in the doorway. So since it's a partial success, do you choose they inflict harm on you, or do you find yourself in a bad spot?
I'll be in a bad spot.
Okay, I'm going to say basically you find the tomahawk basically wedged into the body, and don't really have the time to free it before another one comes bursting out the door, gun getting ready to level at you.
Yay.
So Ian, you're kind of wrestling with a gentleman there.
which Ian is it?
You.
I'm the real Ian. Okay,
real
my bad.
Ian.
I was teasing you.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Before
You
already.
called everyone Ian.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
sorry.
That's cool. It's fine. I was being a jerk. It's fine. It's your game. You can punish me. All right.
Well,
So I'm in a bad situation,
yes.
and I'm here being in a bad situation And this is the point where I can, in fact, spend one of my holds to do something.
Yeah.
And I just saw somebody get their head chopped off
Mm-hmm.
by an undead creature with a tomahawk. That seems excessive. One of the things I can spend my hold one to do is kill, disable, or disarm an NPC within reach.
Mm.
So I think there's a gentleman about to harm me, yes?
Yeah.
I'd like to disable him.
Disable in what manner?
You know that thing where Chuck Norris kicks you in the side of your knee and your leg kind of goes to Divana?
Yeah. You do that?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. Yes. He lets out a yell as you kick him and make his leg kind of go the wrong direction.
It's terrible to talk about. I know. I hate doing this violent stuff.
And yeah, his
Okay.
grip is pretty well loosened from you as he clutches his knee. Lana, what are you up to there?
That's a good question. Because I am not very good at combat when I can't channel, which I currently can't. So basically, I'm going to just pull out my revolver. Sorry, I already had that out. So I'll just have it ready to try to I'm not going to shoot into this melee because I just know that will be a disaster. So basically just being ready if anyone like runs out and I've got a clean shot on them to take it when the opportunity presents.
All right. All right. Proxy, you just managed to snag yourself a tasty soul.
Mm-hmm.
How do you proceed?
Nom 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 nom.
In the room that Ian is in, are we down to only one active combatant?
Even pretty much, they all seem to be fairly incapacitated in there.
Okay.
You got one who's looking ready to blast Klaus, and another one kind of fighting his way, or peeking around the door in that other room.
He did say that his goal was intimidation. So I will, after plugging that guy, taking that soul, I'll holster my gun, come around the back, or come around the side to where Klaus is, and enter my demonic form.
Sweet. What does that look like?
Yeah, give us a description on that.
So what it looks like is,
And do you want to roll so you know what options
what
you're...
I'm getting with it? Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead and roll the blood.
Roll with blood.
Roll with blood. Roll with blood. Succeed
So I get a
partially.
9.
Yep, partial success, which on the
9.
Devil Inside move gives you one choice, which you can gain armor +1, heal 2 harm, inflict +1 harm, gain demonic weapon, 3 harm hand or 2 harm close, or demonic movement, flight, flaming motorcycle, etc.
Flaming motorcycle? Amazing.
Literally written into the game.
Yep.
For when you are playing a Nicolas Cage character.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm always playing a Nicolas Cage character.
I am going to go for a demonic weapon.
Right.
And I'll describe it here in a second. But basically, and that'll be the 3 harm version. So what happens is after he comes around the doorway, it looks like Chap, aka the proxy, is like pulled back, like as though like with a ripcord, and then slowly fades away as a wheel of green fire appears. Then at sort of equilateral points, 3 goat-like eyes open on the wheel, and then 5 golden wings sort of radially around it appear as well. And this thing probably altogether is about, with the wings and everything, probably like, I don't know, 12 feet in diameter. And the demonic weapon will be a scream that flays the flesh off of things.
Holy S word.
Sick.
You are a sick puppy.
Alana looks very impressed.
Impressed, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I will scream and try to flay the flesh off of the nearest thing.
Wait.
The nearest opponent. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Do you want
Thanks
to
for
give me
clarifying.
an unleash on that?
Yeah.
Half of my flesh is actually stapled on, so that would be easy.
Ooh.
That'll be a 13.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, I think.
Holy moly.
Sick.
I think you basically liquefy the last 2 guys
Oh my god.
coming out of that second door there. And there's flaming drippy bits basically just
Yeah, that's my
splattered
band.
across that back wall.
We are the flaming drippy bits.
Works for me.
Title of this episode.
Flaming drippy bits in concert.
Oh,
So-
and I'll take their souls.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of have to at that point. It'd be rude if you didn't.
So am I up to 3 vampire souls? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Now I have
vampire
something
souls
for
aren't
the
gonna-
goblin market.
They're not going to be worth too much on the secondary market, but
Slightly
find it.
used.
We'll
slightly
see.
used,
I'm
slightly
sure I can leverage
soiled.
them.
Yeah.
I can work it.
Okay.
If they're bagged and bordered, you can convince them that it's a run, you see, and then
Mhm.
it's worth more as a whole.
To collect a whole set.
Exactly. Part 8 of 12.
So, yes, there's pretty much a guy who's clutching his leg, screaming, and another one who had his neck stomped in pretty good. Both of them,
Both of them are alive.
yeah.
All right.
And Ethan's awake.
Yeah, he's awake, but pretty bewildered.
She'll walk over and slap him.
Alana,
Yeah.
where,
What are you doing in a vampire flop house?
Don't know. What? Where am I?
She like gestures around to the carnage all over the place. You got abducted by vampires, you idiot.
I mean, I remember being at this party, and that guy was there. But I can't recall much after that.
Did he gesture to me or Jake?
To you, Klaus.
Hmm.
Jake's not
Are we
here.
pretty much out of combat here?
I thought there was another person on the bed. Or
No.
person on the other bed.
Yeah, I assume we're out of combat.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll resume human form.
Did either of the 2 other guys see his demon form?
They were probably distracted.
Darn.
All right, well, she'll turn. She'll like, we'll talk later. Then turn to the other guys. Talk.
What? What do you want?
Why did you take him here?
We were told to. We were gonna take him back to Great Bend, but we had to wait to meet someone here.
Who were you meeting?
Some other guy. I don't know. He was supposed to help us get some information.
What sort of information?
Just telling us about the crew in Hayes, just helping us get rid of them.
When?
I don't know. We are supposed to report back and just
Report to who?
to Dominic
Where is Dominic?
in Great Bend.
When are you supposed to report to him?
After we talked with the guy, we were going to head back to Great Bend tonight.
So the guy should be here today.
Yeah, just about an hour or two.
What do you know about him?
He's supposed to be just a part of the crew in Hayes. He was willing to come to our side.
Whose crew?
Klaus?
She like nods to Klaus. Sounds like you've got a bad element.
It's kind of the job.
The gentleman you're talking to eyes goes a little bit wide as he puts it together. Who you are?
I assume the one with the damaged throat hasn't been talking.
No.
Okay.
Croaking, perhaps.
He's just kind of lying there, clutching, rubbing his neck and mean mugging. But, yeah, not much else.
So Dominic, is that what, Julia's boss, or is Julia his boss?
Julia would be his boss.
Dominic's what took over Jake.
Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Jake was my dealer that I'd taken from Julia.
Got it.
She
And by took over, what do you mean by that?
after he used the drug that Ethan used, he was a different entity. Called itself Dominic.
Huh.
Mhm.
You-
And so are the days of our lives.
You have any of these drugs around? She like looks at the guys.
No, we don't really carry. That's what we sent the runners out for, and I understood he basically liquidated his supply, and we were done with him.
And what do you call that drug?
Don't know. We got a name for it. It's just meth that Julia cooks up.
With what?
I really don't know. I'm not a cook. I don't.
She like looks to Klaus. Want to sit tight for an hour and see who your trader is?
That's my plan.
If you're hoping that is going to work, then there will be a lot of cleaning that needs to be done.
Yeah.
This person will know automatically that something's amiss.
For that matter, there's some loud gunshots that went on there.
They might have already
Nice.
been spooked.
I'm gonna
Or
say
the
it.
authorities may be on their
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. I'm gonna get out of here. For now. You guys, I'm guessing that this I don't know what kind of sting operation you can pull off at this point, but you can maybe set up some kind of watch to see if this guy shows, and if not, interview your people and figure out who.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna knock out the guy who's been talking.
Take his phone
Okay.
too.
You knock him out.
And I'm gonna kill the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the guy who's been talking over to or have one of my goons carry him over back to where we were parked.
I will step out and send a quick text message to what's his name? My cop contact.
Davidson?
Yeah, that's the one.
Bitch.
All right, what are you sending?
Just what's the name of this motel again?
This is the Green Acre Motel
This is also in another county.
in La Crosse. Yeah.
Oh, it's in another county.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Brush
Okay,
County.
never mind then. That is, I don't have any contacts here, so that's someone else's problem.
Does it seem like anyone has been alarmed and alerted and freaking out in the nearby area?
You hearing some sirens?
All right.
Hmm.
I'm going home. Ian, you want to ride with me, or are you going to find your own way?
I'll find a way.
Yeah, I figured. Thanks for the help.
He turn around, he's already gone.
But not before he kicks the guy. Whichever one's still alive, he'll kick him. It's a thing.
The one that you basically shattered the knee of.
Yeah, that one. Is he the one talking?
Yes.
He was.
Oh, I don't like him. Did you kill him?
No, I knocked him out. I killed the other one.
Well, I crushed his larynx, so I technically killed him. You just finished him off.
Really? You guys are fighting over who gets the kill cred?
Only out of
On a
character.
nameless vampire?
You know that's
guys are
not how
better than
XP
that.
works in this game,
No.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just kill them all.
That's an option, I guess.
All right. Oh, it is?
I'm pretty certain Rodrigo's body count is the highest right now.
That's true.
Well,
it is.
yeah,
So
that was absurd.
now I do have to kill them all.
Mhm.
Good luck with that.
Klaus, are you thinking of staying?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the other side of town and see if I recognize anybody coming into town.
Would you like some additional help?
I think I can handle my own man.
Very well. We will discuss reciprocation at some other date then.
Of course.
I will leave.
I'm gonna keep one of my goons with me, send the others away, and we're gonna go wait at the Casey's.
Is it Klaus with a C or a K?
Klaus with a K.
Okay. As you wander back to the Casey's, you definitely see the clerk kind of make eye contact to you wordly with the phone in her hand and duck down behind the counter.
Use your magic forgetting powers that vampires have.
Yeah, just forget about it.
Make her forget.
Have magic forgetting powers.
You're a vampire. You can if you want to.
Wrong
Okay.
clan.
Oh,
Yeah,
His
he's
clan
totally
gets-
a Bruja.
Yeah.
he's a
So,
Bruja.
celerity, presence, and potence.
I don't know enough about vampire to really understand those.
I
That was
actually
a
had,
hilarious joke, is what that was.
That
Hmm.
Yeah.
that was. I'm laughing actually at the.
because
That's a
I'm
good one.
halfway to being a Tremere, I actually have Forgetful Mind, but I didn't have enough holds to do it or care enough.
She just needs to pick up the vampire archetype and
Yeah, that's how you become a Tremere, one or the
Yes.
other. You're either you could go from one direction to the other, I think.
Mhm.
Or you could, do neither, and that's fine.
Oh yeah, speaking of, so I ticked off my last of 5 corruption in that scene.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Do I-
wow.
Wow.
Now, immediately take a corruption move, or just the next time I would take corruption, I clear it and take a corruption move?
You clear, and yeah, if your track's full, you clear it out,
Sweet.
and then
I'll
choose a
admit-
corruption advance.
I'll admit I was beelining to the dark arts.
See, I've been holding back because I'm like, man, I could be super corrupt, but then I'm like, is it just going to turn into violence for violence sake, amit art, and so I'm just going to go shooting
Well,
people.
I mean, you're not gonna. The thing is, mechanically, taking corruption comes from very particular
Mm-hmm.
places. So crushing somebody's skull, I don't think gives you any corruption.
I think it does for him, because when you kill someone
Oh.
not marked on your call, mark
That's
corruption.
right.
Okay, well there you go.
He didn't kill anybody.
Okay,
not today.
I killed them.
fair enough.
Do you
Killed
mark
him before
corruption
I
when
could.
you kill people?
Nope.
Sweet
Unfortunately.
deal.
Eats people.
Unfortunately. Yeah, the problem is that I always want to like use my magical detection powers, and apparently that messes me up.
Yep.
Yep. Can. Well, what's all happening here?
How close are the sirens?
They're getting pretty
It's
close. It's a
lacrosse. They're-
small.
It's lacrosse,
It's
dude.
lacrosse, and there's
The
only one
police
siren.
station is
Yeah.
literally across the street.
Is down the way.
If there's 2 sirens, they send a fire truck.
I'm just gonna get out of there.
Okay.
Did you get a good look at your face?
Apparently, she caught my eye.
Did she throw it back at you?
Ha, 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 ha.
All right. So is everyone just leaving?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say hello to the night.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive home.
I think they head back to Hayes, and that's probably a good point.
That's a good point to end this episode of Critical Hit. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out. For more information, we are getting closer to unlocking that Critical Hit episodes 1 week early goal over at patreon.com/major spoilers. So head over there for more information. Until next time, here's hoping that all of your virtual dice rolls are better than succeeds partially.
This podcast is copyright 2018 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
Major Spoilers Podcast, copyright 2009. Major Spoilers Podcast, copyright 2010.
Major Spoilers is copyright 2011. Major Spoilers is copyright 2012. Major Spoilers is copyright 2013. Major Spoilers is copyright 2014. This podcast is copyright 2015 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC. This podcast is copyright 2016 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC. This podcast is copyright 2017 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC. This podcast is copyright 2018 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.